They often say the happiest moment in an aircraft owner's life is buying his dream aircraft. And the second happiest moment is being able to sell it. But for me, letting go of any aircraft you own is always bittersweet. In this episode, I part with a well-loved Socata TB21 and see it off to its new home in Bacolod, where meeting other aircraft owners become an adventure of its own, reminiscing the heydays of Negros sugar production, which started a passion for driving and flying. The Socata TB21 Trinidad first appeared on the Paris Air Show in the late 70s, standing out against the traditional-looking Pipers and Cessnas. It was a sleek, stylish, and modern-looking single-engine aircraft. This TB21 has been part of our many flying adventures over the years.
To a lot of people, an airplane is just a tool for business or a vehicle that takes you from one point to the other. For me, an airplane is family, and it's very sad if you have to let go of one.
Today, it will be leaving for its new home, Bacolod.
Well, it's remembering old adventures, places that you've been together, and fun you had in all your adventures. It's saying goodbye to the airplane, but keeping very good memories of it.
I slipped inside its gull-wing cabin doors. We left a hazy Manila behind us as we flew to Bacolod. The TB21 has very light controls and very stable in flight. It has a good instrument layout, and the cabin is very comfortable and spacious. I also like the visibility of this aircraft. As we approach Bacolod, the skies have cleared, allowing us to appreciate the views.
Well, that's Bacolod already. The engine has really been smooth and I really cannot complain. Bacolod was gifted with fertile soil wherein the sugar cane is growing abundantly. And this is where the money of the old Bacolod came from. If you'll notice, a lot of haciendas in these areas. And there's a sugar mill right there. Bacolod has always been an interesting place for me, not only for the food, but also for the culture. And the Aero Club here is something that was very unusual in the Philippine aviation history.
We landed in the new Bacolod Airport and taxied to the general aviation area. I was welcomed by my friend Manolet Lamata into his hangar, where the TB21 will be parked. Manolet has joined us in our previous Negros adventure, riding motorcycles. This time, I will make sure we get to fly. Bacolod has one of the oldest aero clubs in the Philippines. Starting way back in the 50s, they have a very interesting aviation history, which I hope to learn about today. I was welcomed by the rest of the Bacolod Flyboys along with a sumptuous spread.
Tell us why you started building the hangar now. I mean, before, Bacolod was the center of fun flying.
The old Aero Club, some members are still present. Closed down when the old airport was finally scratched out.
That's right.
And the new airport was transferred here in Silay, out of Bacolod City. So since I retired, and so is the mayor, we all decided to take up flying.
Wow.
And enjoy the rules of flying.
When you look back at life before, why did you think that opportunity came to Bacolod and not to any other place in the Philippines? Because I know all the nice cars were here, all the nice airplanes then was here, more than Manila and other places.
Well, I think credit has to go to the Americans, in where there was this Laurel Langley law,
Yes.
and where all sugars produced in the Philippines will be bought by the US, by the American, and that's why these people were enjoying the fruits of that law. It was really good money then, at that time. So that's why they were able to buy planes, nice cars, and yeah, a pretty good life then.
So you have all the nice things here. People are good taste.
Oh, you bet, you bet. Because of that, the families used to travel abroad.
Yes.
So the families were ahead as far as education.
Airplanes were indispensable in getting around the plantations, and the sugar barons became the first airplane owners and pilots. A love for flying swept across the province, prompting them to put up a flying club in the 50s, which continued to the decades to come.
And how many were you in the group then?
Maybe about 10, somewhere there.
More.
The group started flying with after flying they start drinking.
Okay. So everybody has to be conscious of their landing because you'll never hear the end of it when you come drinking with them.
No, what I experienced every time somebody landed badly, free drinks.
Oh,
You have to pay for the round.
that's a good idea.
To make a good landing.
Yeah.
Everybody will be watching you.
At that time, did the young ladies get attracted more to pilots or no, you were all afraid of women?
Actually,
We were afraid of their wives.
And before when we flew, unlike now you have so many things to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just
Plan and find the right plan.
before you say, bring out the plane. Okay, warm up. All you have to do is radio. My plane, I only had a compass. What I use is my watch,
Yes.
my speed,
Yes.
and my map.
Of course.
At this time, I should be here.
Yes.
At this time, I should be here.
But that's real flying compared to now.
Trying to look back. I don't know how we survived. Sometimes
Yes.
I go up there, over the top. I was praying for an opening. I never knew where I was.
Yes. Well, they're the real pilots. I think Mayor has a runway already. We have to just look for the persons with the runway and we should hang out there. So I think this will be good fun. So nice to look back at this flying adventures that we will never forget as we get older. And it's nice to share it with these kids.
Lunch was amazing, and the company even more so. We could have sat there all day and all night, talking about airplanes and the good old days of flying. I was also very happy to see a new generation of aviators who will have their own set of adventures. Times may have changed, but the love for flying will continue. Up next, aside from airplanes, many Bacoleños also maintained and collected beautiful vintage cars over the years. I discovered their passion for restoration after the break. After spending time with the Bacolod Flyboys, recalling the good old days of flying, I continue to hark back to Bacolod's golden age, marked by the presence of these shiny toys. I was able to spend time with the Bacolod Classic Car Club and check out the collection they kept over the years. I was treated that day to a handsome assortment of Benzes, BMWs, some American classics, and even some rare finds. Of course, this is only from a handful of the club members.
Anthony, why is it that there's so many nice classic cars here in Bacolod?
In the 60s, when there was a sugar boom in the early 70s, there were a lot of European, especially Benzes and American cars here in Bacolod, in Negros.
This was when sugar was very highly priced at the time in the market.
That's true, that's right.
But what got you started into these classic cars?
When we were younger, growing up in Bacolod, you see all this, I grew up in the 80s during my high school years, and you see all these nice cars in Bacolod, and you dream of owning one. So that's probably why I've been drawn to collecting, classic cars. Yeah. So the club started about maybe 5 years ago, I would say. Of course, the older guys, sila Tito Philip, Tito Manolet, and Tito Bomber, they've been
At it.
this, old American cars.
Well, if anyone knows more about the history of car collection here, it would be the older guys. I talked to Manolet and Bomber about their stately rides.
So Manolet, you're one of the guys who have so many old cars before. Why did you think of keeping these old cars?
Well, because of my dad, he loved old cars, and it seemed to have grown on me.
Okay, so you inherited the passion.
Yes, I inherited the passion, and also
Great.
the passion of Bacolod City, in where old cars prevailed. Every time a new car from the U.S. comes out, or in Europe, Bacolod seems to be the first one to have it. I don't know why, but we always have
Even before Manila, you get the first order.
it. Even before. Take in consideration the black car.
Okay.
It's owned by Bomber, Psycho.
And you've kept it in good shape, huh?
That's a 72. That's a 1972.
And it's a Mark IV.
The Mark IV embodied luxury and elegance in the 70s. It retained a radiator-style grille, hidden headlamps, and the Continental spare tire decklet of its predecessor.
And this one is a town car.
Yes, this is a 668.
Yeah.
68, yeah.
And whose is this naman? Yours also, my God. You have you have purchased all the Lincoln Continental cars, I think, in the Philippines. Maybe you have 10 more in your garage.
No, I have 6.
Built like a tank, but with a very comfortable ride, the Lincoln Continental was created during the glory days of American luxury sedans.
Because in the 60s, as Manolet said, Negros had the most number of Lincolns and Cadillacs
Right.
per capita. I'm collecting, especially if the history of the car is from Negros.
Oh, so you want to buy back all the cars that was formerly...
As much as possible, yes.
Yeah.
So, the history is...
It was definitely a very fascinating way of preserving the heritage of the place. And these gents are doing a pretty good job. They have even passed on the interest to the younger generations of Bacoleños. I spot a nice-looking Jaguar, but with a different mark. So I thought I'd ask its owner, Giles, about it.
I thought earlier it was just a regular Jag, but tell me why it's
No regular Jag. It's a Daimler 66.
Yes.
So what they do is they get the top-of-the-line Jaguar XJ12 and they send it off to Daimler to do the coachwork, the interior, the grille, the chrome. And as you can see on this car, you can't find the name Jaguar except for the wheels.
Yes.
Everything on this car is a Daimler.
And I noticed also, this hood, this grill, I haven't seen anyone with this kind of grill.
It's a Daimler specialty grille. When
Yeah.
they changed the Jaguar grille and they put the Daimler.
But why was this your choice of car to restore?
Actually, this was not a restore. This is a mint condition.
Oh, everything is original.
Everything is original. So it just happened to be at the right place at the right time. A good friend of ours decided to just give it to us. So it's been under my care and my dad's care.
Yes.
It's a very fun car to drive.
Is it difficult maintaining it?
These engines are built to last. This car is a 1989 model, but this engine was made in the 60s. And the only difference between that engine and this one is that this one is fuel injected. They didn't change anything at all because it's that good.
If we give you another car to restore and keep, what would it be?
I would think 1963 Corvette C2.
Corvette.
It's my dream car.
Yes.
Of course, the excitement of restoring these old cars can only be matched by the thrill of driving it, as I learned from JB.
So JV, how long have you had the car?
Maybe a year. Well, actually, it's not mine. I just borrowed it. I got it an hour ago. I use it. Runs very well, and then drive to the mountain several times. Very.
So you're really taking it around?
Oh yeah, we drive. Our group here get together on Sundays, and then we go to the mountains.
Like Mashal, yes.
You really feel the road. You feel the car. You're connected to the car. You also don't lose out. It becomes like an investment because the value goes up. You'll be surprised.
Never goes down.
Never goes down.
A lot of time, patience, and skill goes into car restoration. And I was very happy to meet people who appreciate history and are passionate in keeping these old machines alive. Up next, I continue to reminisce about the past, taking the planes to Sipalay and Cadiz, where we relive the heyday of flying in Bacolod. After looking back at Bacolod's long aviation history, we decided to take the planes out for some fun flights around the province. Taking Manolet's Bonanza, Mayor Oscar's Piper Cherokee, and the TB21, we headed for the coastal city of Sipalay. It was nice to be able to do a bit of formation flying over the stunning vistas of Bacolod. Sipalay is a 4-hour drive from Silay, but only about 20 minutes by airplane. Well, 30 if you count in our sightseeing. Mayor Oscar's 1,400-meter gravel strip provided easy access to the seaside destination. Sipalay is known as the Jewel of Sugar Island, and I can see why Mayor Oscar is very proud of it. We head to the coast, and the beach was just stunning.
Well, this is the nice, peaceful town of Sipalay. The beach is very quiet and almost empty. This is a place that I would really like to go back to next time.
Mayor Oscar invites us for breakfast with an amazing view of the sea. It is by no means a light breakfast, complete with inasal of course. After a very filling breakfast, Manolet invites us to visit his place in Cadiz up north. We were soon back in formation, heading for Cadiz. This is exactly how the sugar barons went from hacienda to hacienda with their trusty airplanes. One by one, we landed in Manolet's grass strip next to their sugarcane plantation. The kids in the hacienda happily welcomed us. It seemed that the airplanes landing on the grass strip are a normal sight for them. Just a stone's throw away is the Lamata ancestral home.
I can still see the airplanes from here, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it was, you had that view. So you say this is the 100-year-old?
This is a 100-year-old farm, yeah. Everything is original.
So you never refurbish or anything?
Once in a while, you change some planks.
No termites,
Everything's all...
nothing?
Wala, because I treated the house. These are the old wood, old hardwood.
Outside is a rock garden built before the war, with an interesting history.
That was built by a Japanese.
Really?
He came in 1937.
Yes.
According to him, he was a gardener, and he presented himself to my lolo.
And then he was the first one to attack.
He was the major. He was the major in the intelligence. Yeah.
Oh my God.
When the war broke out. Imperial Army.
Uh-oh.
And he had all the data. The Japanese used to come here with the trains because the fish pond then was full of hardwood.
Inside was a beautiful home with the polished wood gleaming like it was newly built. The Lamatas are a family of sugar planters whose history go a long way back.
This is like a museum. The whole thing is very well preserved.
It is amazing how they have kept the house and the antique furniture in great shape.
That's a Red Star, world famous.
Yeah.
They imported this from Germany. My mom used to cook cakes.
Here.
Yeah. Their style was each family lived in the farm. So every Sunday, ikot, may regodon. One family will service all the families within 10 kilometers party. Nagpa-party yan dito. Tapos dito
next farm.
Next farm.
So even if you were not relatives, you got to know each other.
Good friend.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a 19-something telephone.
Yes.
And this is connected by copper wire to the sugar mill, Victoria's.
Okay.
And through the operator of Victoria's, you can call Spain or anywhere in the world.
Wow.
With this phone.
Until what year was it still being used?
Until the 80s.
Until the 80s?
Until they stole the copper wire.
Oh, they stole the copper.
Once they stole the copper wire, that was it.
Merienda was served by the pool, where Sunday lunches and plenty of parties used to be held. This was indeed the sweet life, and I was glad to be able to experience some of it, thanks to the warm welcome of the Bacoleños. Bacolod is a place filled with nostalgia, where the people hold their heritage in high esteem. This is seen in their interest in preserving and honoring things of the past. I was glad to have witnessed it firsthand, and I am happy that the airplane we brought here has found a good home.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asian Air Safari!